On this lesson, we're going to focus on the parent functions. And we will start off with the constant function. When f of x equals k, where k is just some real number in this case, k equals 2 for the equation y equals 2, which is a horizontal line. Now the domain for this function is going to be all the values from negative infinity to positive infinity. And the range of this function is just going to be all the values k in this case too.
The next function is the linear function. When f of x equals x, this is diagonal line with a slope of 1 and we intercept of 0. We can see that the domain and the range of the linear function is going to be all the values from negative infinity to positive infinity.
Well, our next function is the absolute value function. When f of x equals the absolute value of x. We know that the absolute value is always positive, and that helps us to understand why this parent function remains above the x-axis, and why the domain is always from negative infinity to positive infinity. But the range starts at 0 and moves up to positive infinity. But again, it's never negative.
And the next function is the quadratic function. When f of x equals k squared, this parabola should look very familiar to us. If we compare it to the absolute value function, we can clearly see that it has the same domain and range of the domain being negative infinity to positive infinity and the range being from 0 to infinity.
Well, our last parent function is the square root function. When f of x equals the square root of x. This function has both a domain and the range of from 0 to positive infinity.